Welcome to TKL Talks. I am your host, TKL, and this platform is dedicated to empowered women. And we are giving them an opportunity to discuss candid and authentic conversations about life's highs, lows, ebbs, and flows. Why? Because empowered women need to be empowered too. But before we get into today's juice, I need you guys to like and subscribe. I also need you guys to push that notifications button so that you can be abreast of every juicy episode that's dropping thereafter. And yes, this is TKL Talks. And not only am I talking to my guests, but I'm talking to you. So I need you to get into those comments. Let us know what you're feeling. Let us know what you're not. And make sure you just continue to communicate with us all throughout the show. Well, guys, today's topic is one that I know we all can relate to, and it's called There is No Traffic When You're in Your Own Lane. Yes, today we are killing comparison and we are dismantling imposter syndrome on this show today. And I have two amazing guests that I cannot wait to introduce to you guys. So, my first guest I have here is the beautiful Giselle Quintanilla. I love saying her name. Giselle is a 40-year-old speaker, business strategy partner, and entrepreneur. She is a single mother. Okay, brothers, she's single of three children, one teenage girl and two boys. Welcome, Giselle.
Thank you, TKL.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here today.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh my goodness, can't wait to get all into it. But I not only have this beauty here with me, but I have the lovely LaToya Hammond. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, LaToya is a 46-year-old probation officer. She is a women's empowerment speaker, writer, and content creator and show host. Okay? And fellas, she's single too. Okay? And she is also the mother of two amazing boys. Welcome, LaToya.
Thank you, TKL.
Oh my goodness, I'm so hyped. So listen, guys, we got to get right into all of this juicy topic. So I know we all can kind of relate to feeling inadequate, suffering with imposter syndrome and not owning our own lane at times.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to pose this question, and I'm going to first ask you, Giselle. Can you guys speak to a time where you may have forfeited an opportunity or an idea because you thought too many people are doing the same thing? Can you speak to that, Giselle?
Absolutely. Yes, that's a great question. I absolutely can. So what's interesting is I almost forfeited even starting my business because originally I wanted to start a blog. So I love writing. I wanted to start my blog, but everybody back then, 6 years ago, almost everybody was blogging. Everybody was doing blogs, and I really felt challenged, especially because I really didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So for me, I almost forfeited starting that blog, but that blog led to my first book, and that first book led to my business. And now, 6 years later, I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just think about, what could have happened.
Right.
And what's funny is I was watching something, I think Kevin Hart had a video, and he was saying there's a million of, bloggers, there's a million podcasts, there's a million everything. Yes, but only you can do what you do.
Absolutely. And it's funny, I was just speaking to somebody today. You made me think about that. She was like, look, think about the loaves of bread that are in the aisle. How many different loaves of bread, and they are all in their own lane. You got your Wonder Bread, you got your Stromans, you got your whole wheat, and they all are bread, but they are different brands, but they are still owning their own lanes. Right. And I love that. Oh my goodness. Good. Now, Toya, can you speak to that? A time where you may have like, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to do it. Everybody doing it. I'm not going
to. Yes, I absolutely can. And it's funny how Giselle talked about wanting to start a blog and blogging. The same was for me. Wow. I wanted to start a blog. And again, ironically, Giselle was the one that I reached out to because it was like, how do you do this? I don't know how to do this. And I think, those feelings of I'm not good enough or what do I have to offer because everyone is doing it. But for me, it was the importance of having people around me, having that squad around you that said, listen, no one can do it like you can do it. And so, when you have that around you and you begin to believe that about yourself, you decide, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. way.
That part, yes. So squad is that thing that really pushed you to say, listen, girl, get out your head
Absolutely.
and get in that lane and own it. I love it. I love it. And you know what? I'm going to be transparent with you guys. So for myself, I almost forfeited this opportunity right here. This opportunity with B3 Media, I almost forfeited because I felt like there were so many amazing women in the room, and we have a producer, we have the voice, we have the strategist, and I'm just this empowerer, like I felt like, maybe I don't have what it takes to own up in this room with these amazing ladies. So I almost forfeit an amazing opportunity by getting in my own head and in my own way. So I can definitely identify with you ladies on that. But my next thought with you ladies would be, have you guys had any erroneous beliefs? You know how they say about this term stinking thinking, right? And sometimes the stinking thinking can be how we think about ourselves, not even what someone else thinks about us. I want to speak to you, Toya. Have you ever felt like, had those erroneous beliefs, and how did you get around that?
Again, such a great question. And I'll say, it's not even a past tense thing. There are still moments now that I have those thoughts, but it was thoughts of I'm not good enough. Like I'm not worthy of what it is that I actually desire to do. And it's a desire that God has given me. He's given me the want to want to, but you're still believing that you're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. I'm a recovering perfectionist. And so just everything has to be right. Everything has to be perfect, but not realizing like it actually doesn't. You need to just show up as who you are.
Right.
Show up as who you are. You are enough. God has given you this. He's trusting you with this, and so that helps to dispel some of those thoughts that come up. And I always like to say the thoughts that are coming, we need to really get here to figure out like where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? What seeds were planted? And then we can heal and we can grow, and then that'll dispel those thoughts on its own, because then you show up like, you know what? I am that girl.
Cool.
I can do this. I am worthy of doing
girl.
this.
Yes. I need somebody to put that in the comments. I am that girl and I am here. I love that, Toy. I love that, Toy. Now, Giselle, what about you? Have you ever had any moments of that stinking thinking about yourself or disbelief in yourself that prevented you from owning your own lane?
I laugh because I don't think anybody has never.
That part. We can all speak to that.
What's interesting is it doesn't matter how far along you are, even and how successful you are. You always have that in the back of your mind, right? So for me, when I started writing, and again, I was in my business, started it, and I remember clearly sitting going, who's going to want to read what I'm writing? Like, who is really going to care, right? Who is this for? And I remember clearly praying, and God was like, I ain't asking for all that.
Wow.
Just right.
Just right.
Which is funny. That's why I say that to my clients.
Just right.
I always say just right, because that's what he told me.
Yes.
Just right. Because we're supposed to just do it.
Right.
That's it. We're not in charge of what happens. The results, that's not on us.
Right. Wow. So what I'm hearing you say is that, we get in our own heads. We get in our own way. And we start to, I guess almost like a fog in our vision, like of the clarity of who we really are. We fog our own clarity of who we are, but just get out the way, just do it, just show up and get that squad that's going to be around you, that's going to support you to do it. I love that. Oh my goodness.
Just keep driving.
Just keep driving in your lane, because guess what? There's no traffic in your own lane,
There
right?
it is.
I absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it. But I also wanted to just, tap into, now that you guys are, you're further along, you've kind of been doing this thing. Do you have daily disciplines that help you renew your mind and help you to get out of your head? What can you speak to about that?
I love that question so much. I am a huge fan of affirmations. So for me, it was really writing my affirmations down, and it was reciting them and making sure that I am disciplined in understanding who I am, saying my affirmations, and then my form of self-care is managing my time and my activities.
Ooh, okay. Now tell me, because I heard you say that before in previous interviews. You're a very stickler about your time. So how do you manage your time so well? Because that's an area that I know I struggle with.
So it's not easy. I'm going to tell you that. Because discipline is all about behavior, right? It's all behavioral. And for me, I have to time block and I have to manage my time. I value my time. I respect my time, right? Because I can always make more money. I can never make more time. So I am very much about, okay, from this time to this time is what I'm doing. That's not saying that sometimes life is life and something happens. But when you structure your time, it's easier to handle those.
I love that. I love that. So it sounds like discipline. Discipline is what we need. And that can tie into a lot of things with what we do. If we're disciplined, we can be disciplined in our thinking, discipline how we think about ourselves, discipline in our projects, putting time limits and managing our time that can help us feel, complete the project so we can feel fulfilled and feel like I am owning my own lane, right? And be consistent in that. I love that. Now, LaToya, tell me, what daily disciplines or things that you've done or doing to renew your mind in your own lane?
Ooh, wow. Okay. So daily disciplines, I wouldn't say quite honestly that I have any daily disciplines. What I have done though, it is when I wake up, I check in with me, me and God, like, what do I need for today?
Yes.
What do I need to accomplish the day? I know it takes an understanding of knowing who you are, but not just who you are, but how you operate, how you function, how you think, how you move through this world. And when you have an understanding of those things about yourself, then you can easily structure what you need for the day. Because again, a lot of times I was comparing myself to other people, with the time management and the this and the that. And you got to do this. You got to wake up at 4. You got to do this. You got to read this book. You got to do this. And I'm like, I don't function that way. And I started to get overwhelmed. So you really have to know how you operate and check in with yourself. I check in with myself daily. I journal. And then I set realistic things that I know I can accomplish for that day. And then really the rest, I show up and I leave the rest up to God. Like, God, you're going to lead this thing how it's supposed to go. And I don't marry myself necessarily to any one thing, but just understanding at the end of the day, I've gotten something accomplished.
Yes, show up and leave it up to God. Listen, we are going to take a break on that. I'm going to need you guys to refresh those snacks, refresh those drinks, and we're going to be right back after this.
Hey guys, I'm Wandria. I am the creativepreneur of B3 Media. Today we got together to do an amazing photo shoot. Why? Because we want you to get to know who we are. We're real women just like you. We have careers, kids, husbands, responsibilities, all that stuff. But one thing that we all have in common is that we are here to help you discover who you are and become all that God created you to be. That looks good. Our slogan at B3 Media is brilliant, brave, and bodacious. Lives inside of you.
Hold on to your seats, ladies, because next week we're turning up the heat with an episode you don't want to miss.
God has really answered my prayer and gave me some really good, genuine, God-fearing, loving women. We ain't hating on each other, that type of stuff. It's because, back in the day I wouldn't hang with the guys. Because the girls would hurt you.
Right.
But
And I see you're getting a little bit emotional.
It is.
So tell me, like, what are you feeling? What is that
because
from?
I'm just grateful.
Yes.
Don't do that now. You're going to have to work all the way down. I'm trying to keep it together.
Yes.
But I'm grateful to God.
Yes.
Because he answered my prayer.
I love it.
Don't miss out on the opportunity to be inspired, informed, and empowered. We are B3 Media TV.